This marks the 8th part of this manhwa. If you haven't viewed the previous parts, you can access it by clicking the I button located above, or the link is provided in description. Let's aim for 200 likes on today's video. To show your support, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's begin our recap video for today's manhwa. Patrick inquired, "Hey, you there? Whose orders is he following to guard this place?" The dullahan remained silent and instead launched an attack at Patrick with its sword, which he deflected using his left arm. Observing the weapon closely, Patrick realized that sword. It's the evil sword. It's tricky to handle as it corrodes the opponent's weapon. It's quite powerful, unlike a dullahan. Patrick then attempted to negotiate, asking can they resolve this peacefully as fellow undead? However, the dullahan ignored his words and continued its aggressive advance, prompting Patrick to evade the attack by bending backward. Patrick stated refusing to engage in conversation as an undead with intelligence, sought to uncover the reason for his presence. With a sigh, he remarked that the lord of the place should have all the answers. Using low glass magic, Patrick caused the dullahan to slip and fall to the ground. Seizing the opportunity, he picked up the short axe and cast a strengthening spell on it and delivered a decisive blow. Since the dullahan seemed unwilling to talk, Patrick swiftly ended the confrontation, showing the sword that he grabbed from dullahan back and stated he will borrow this sword since it seems like he is not using it. Employing both a heavy sword strike and a great axe strike, Patrick swiftly defeated the dullahan. Later, in the Lord's room, Lala awoke feeling cold, only to find Patrick standing before her, and inquired about her sleep. She widened her eyes in surprise. Then, she angrily exclaimed, "How dare he intrude here in the middle of the night?" Patrick responded, "Isn't it obvious that he has some business with her?" He then asked was her name Lala, and then he greeted her, and stated he would give her exactly 5 minutes. Summon the man who was with her earlier. After 5 minutes, Patrick apologized for calling them so late at night, but he happened to pick this up on his night walk as he placed the dullahan head on the table, which startled Lala. She inquired, "What is this?" Patrick questioned, "Do he really not know what it is?" "This is the helmet of a dullahan, Lord of Haston Lalasan of Veritark. Why is he working with an undead?" Lala asked, "What is he talking about? What undead?" Patrick expressed his disappointment. "Is she going to keep up the act until the end? If she isn't acting, is she really unaware of who she is working with?" Well, he is not surprised, seeing as she is the unfit lord of this place who does not know what is going on in this land of hers. Ahumo raised his voice and declared, "My lord, there is no value in listening to more of this nonsense. Summon the guards and apprehend him." However, before he could continue, Patrick interjected, stating he personally eliminated that dullahan in the mansion's basement prison. Lala, visibly nervous, inquired, "In this basement prison?" Patrick confirmed, "Yes, in her basement prison lie piles of corpses. If he may offer another piece of information, the individual next to her is also undead." Patrick said that while drew his sword and pointed it towards Ahumo. Upon hearing this, Lala exclaimed in anger. She refused to believe his accusations. Do he think she would accept such claims simply because he said so? This man has promised her the salvation of Haston. Accusing him of being undead jeopardizes the safety of Haston. Patrick chuckled and inquired, "So is she suggesting that she knows who has been threatening the safety of Haston?" Ahumo interjected, urging both of them to calm down. "Sir Knight, you mentioned earlier that this helmet belonged to a dullahan. Dullahans are not creatures one encounters easily." Patrick became excited and exclaimed, "He knows that?" He was just as surprised. He even doubted himself seeing such a high-level undead in this place. Moreover, that dullahan felt peculiar. It didn't speak, despite its expected intelligence as an elder undead. Its movements during the fight were also abnormal. So, after burning its soul, he investigated further and found a mind control magic circle engraved on the inner side of its armor, along with the name, Masham. It appears to be the name of the vice-captain of the raid force, Masham and Harda brothers, who gathered to raid a brutal undead 30 years ago. It was rumored that he was a formidable knight, but he vanished after the raid. Now, for the question. Who does she think was the brutal undead they were attempting to raid? Lala inquired about the identity of the individual. Patrick, with his sword directed at Ahumo, said he will pose the question in a different manner this time. He would like him to respond from in her place. "Where can the brutal undead known as Arivos be found, Mr. Undead Underling?" Lala, with cold sweat running down her face, asked. She's not sure what he means. Isn't that the name of a boss in the great evil dungeons? Meanwhile, Ahumo started laughing. Lala questioned. Didn't he say he would save her and the territory? Ahumel, with a sinister smile, replied of course. The plan might be changed, but he guessed it can't be helped. A peaceful resolution is now out of the question. Lala inquired what is he doing? Ahumel didn't respond and was about to cast a spell when Patrick quickly intervened, cutting his arm and stating, the two of them should stay still. Lala then asked, is it true that he is an undead? After transforming back to his original form, he declared he is Ahumel. He will eliminate her and all others in this territory, turning it into a land of the dead. She should feel honored that beings like her is being offered the chance to be saved. This is all part of the plan of the Lord of the Undead, the immortal King Erivos. Patrick expressed, he never could have imagined such a scenario. Aren't the undead known for fighting in large numbers? He never expected them to invade in such an organized and strategic manner. Ahumel remarked he took an interest in Patrick from the moment he saw him. He commended him for exceeding his expectations by defeating Masham. Patrick responded, it's the first time someone has praised him for defeating their subordinate. Ahumel noted, fascinating. He is becoming more intrigued by him. He is undead like him. Why isn't he serving Lord Erivos? Lala inquired, is he also an undead like him? Patrick believes that he may have been discovered. They still require a leader to manage the land and collaborate with them. He didn't intend to harm her. Patrick then mentioned that his mood suddenly changed. He proceeded to sever the other arm of Ahumel and advised that it would be in his best interest to follow his commands obediently. Ahumel inquired if threats would be effective against an undead being. Patrick responded, stating that threats would not work, but Ahumel should consider the consequences of not cooperating. He warned that the individual accompanying him is much more powerful than Ahumel realizes and could disrupt their plans easily. Ahumel found this information intriguing and suggested that it could also impact humans. Patrick clarified that they are not aligned with humans, and urged Ahumel to divulge information instead of wasting time. Additionally, Patrick requested details about Ahumel's superior, Erivos. Ahumel agreed to provide an answer and posed a question about the origins of an elder. Patrick emphasized the importance of continuous dialogue without questioning. Ahumel elaborated on the rare phenomenon of becoming an elder, which requires either a supernatural occurrence or a significant amount of hatred. Elders possess the ability to single-handedly combat 1,000 zombies, and Lord Erivos can create them using his magic. The isolation of Hasten and the establishment of a religion serve the purpose of creating elders. Humans with weak souls are sought after to gather fellow undead, with isolation and weakening of resolve being key tactics. The creation of the religion serves a similar purpose in this context. Patrick exclaimed, he finally understands. But why are there so many corpses in the underground jail? Ahumel replied, it's to create more elders. They are planning to destroy the Empire. Patrick expressed concern, thinking that's not right. If the Empire is destroyed and all humans turn into undead, Erivos will gain great power, targeting the 7 great evil dungeons. Ahumel stated realization often comes too late. As he began casting a powerful dark curse spell, he asked did he think cutting off his arms would stop him from casting magic? How foolish of him. Patrick laughed and complimented Ahumel, saying he is quite skilled. He can cast spells with just words. Ahumel retorted, did he really think he would tell him the truth? No being can oppose Lord Erivos. The only one who could is an ancient monster who slumbers for years after moving. Nothing can thwart his lord's plans. As Ahumel prepared to attack Patrick with another spell, Patrick broke free from the binding spell using sheer strength alone. Patrick inquired, is that so? May he ask one question? If he was to organize all that he has said, whatever his great plans might be, if the ancient monster appears, whether it be him or Erivos, their plans will be ruined, correct? Ahumel exclaimed, what nonsense is he talking about? Suddenly, the roof of the mansion collapsed and fell on Ahumel, with Swallow sitting in front of Patrick. See that? Patrick remarked, that was such perfect timing. As the dust settled, Lala observed Mels whining and Swallow sitting on the rubble of the collapsed mansion. Patrick remarked on Swallow's impeccable timing. Swallow modestly replied that it was nothing and inquired about Patrick's findings. Patrick responded that he had discovered nearly everything. Confused, Lala looked toward Swallow, who sighed and gazed upwards. Suddenly, Ahumel launched a spell at Swallow, but he effortlessly deflected it and swiftly captured Ahumel using his power. Ahumel, witnessing Swallow's strength, was shocked and pondered on the source of his power. Patrick interrupted Ahumel's thoughts by reminding him of their companion's underestimated strength. Ahumel, surprised by the turn of events, questioned how the ancient monster had appeared and why he couldn't sensed the crystal's energy upstairs. Determining that Mels was a demon king based on her energy, Ahumal resolved to delay and inform Lord Arivos. Ahumal then questioned the ancient monster's presence, recalling rumors of her hiding after the incident at Liège, as he said that he was struck by an attack that caused an explosion on impact. As the dust settles, Ahumal lay on the floor coughing and declared, "You guys are already too late." Mels retorted he sure talk a lot, and cast a spell at Ahumal to erase his soul. Swallow remarked, "Would you look at that? He's still laughing?" Mels explained maybe it's because he's undead, but he's pretty persistent. Just before Ahumal's soul vanished, he cried out, "Worship him! Their lord has descended upon this land." Patrick inquired, "Boss, does he know what that meant?" Swallow replied, "Yes, he see it. He sure is putting a lot into his entrance." Meanwhile, outdoors, some people playing chess noticed a peculiar sky. One of them asked, "Look, doesn't the sky seem a bit weird?" The other person questioned, "How so?" At that moment, Rosalina was running while glancing backward. Thoth called out her name, and Rosalina asked he was awake. Thoth responded that's what he should be asking her. Where has she been? Rosalina mentioned that she went for a walk at Jarbet Plaza to clear her head, but then regretted mentioning a place affected by pollution. She apologized in advance, expecting him to be angry with her. Thoth, surprisingly, did not get mad and mentioned that the captain and others decided to leave Haston the next night. The captain doesn't trust the knights, and Thoth offered to explain more on the way. Later, at a place with piled-up dead bodies, Thoth thought about Rosalina's parents buried there, and mentioned they wouldn't be able to return once they leave. He left the choice up to Rosalina on what to do next. She mentioned he should know that, but she didn't understand why the captain wanted to leave Haston. She questioned if Haston could still be saved and suggested waiting a bit longer. He responded by saying he wouldn't try to convince her about religion being a personal choice. He pointed out the uncertainty of waiting for salvation while her parents were in a difficult situation. He emphasized that actions, not just belief in a specific God, could bring salvation. This made her question how she could contribute to salvation and strengthened her determination. She agreed with Thoth's perspective, took his torch, and confidently moved towards the dead bodies to set them on fire. However, she was interrupted by Simon Magus, a priest they knew, who inquired about her activities in that late-night setting. Thoth asked for his identity, but Simon focused on questioning Rosalina's intentions. Rosalina inquired about Simon Magus's presence, but he remained silent. She then urged him to stop, but the torch accidentally set fire to his clothes. Thoth, concerned, advised Simon Magus to let go, while Rosalina suggested he put out the fire. Ignoring their pleas, Simon Magus pushed Rosalina, causing Thoth to catch her before they both fell to the ground. As the fire consumed Simon Magus, revealing his undead nature, Thoth and Rosalina were shocked. Thoth identified him as undead, but Simon Magus silenced them, and he used his spell to make dead bodies start moving. Confused, Rosalina asked what was happening, prompting Thoth to urge her to run to safety. Shortly after barricading the entrance, Thoth remarked, "This should buy them some time." However, Rosalina suddenly fell to the ground, stating she can't move anymore. Thoth turned to her and acknowledged they don't have a choice. While staying inside may be safer than venturing outside, the first floor isn't secure either. Let's head to the second floor. Rosalina agreed, but expressed difficulty in moving her legs. Thoth then offered her to climb onto his back. They need to move quickly. Grateful, Rosalina thanked him, noting his potential fatigue. As Thoth glanced out the window, he pondered, "Can they both make it out alive?" Before he could dwell further, Rosalina remarked on the foul smell in the room, questioning if it was due to the corpses. Concerned about their safety, she asked, "Are they safe now?" Thoth responded, "No, it's still dangerous here. Stay focused if she wants to survive." Rosalina inquired, "What does he mean?" However, Thoth remained silent and proceeded to approach a nearby corpse, soaking his scarves in its blood. Rosalina then asked, "What is he doing?" Thoth continued without responding, advancing towards her with a weapon that he'd taken from the corpse. He swung at her, prompting her to shut her eyes. Upon reopening them, Rosalina witnessed Thoth clutching his pendant, and declaring, he is only telling her this now. But this thing has been bothering him for a while. She should believe in something more believable from now on. Rosalina questioned, why didn't he warn her? That scared her. Suddenly, the sound of a door breaking open was heard, leading Thoth to remark, the door must have given in. Rosalina inquired what should they do. Thoth responded, what else can they do? Rosalina decided that she needed to find an object that could also be used as a weapon. Thoth didn't respond and headed towards the door. Seeing this, she asked, "Where is he going?" Thoth smiled at her as he looked towards her, then left the room, and he used his scarf that he dipped in the blood of the corpse to close the door. He thought if he do this, they won't be able to find Rosalina due to the smell. Rosalina, scared, stated, "What is he doing? Don't leave her. Please don't. Leave her here." Thoth replied, "For how long will she depend on others? She has been a burden long enough. Listen well, don't make any noise, no matter what you hear. Don't make a sound and don't move without thinking." She immediately covered her mouth. Thoth stated, "She is finally listening, that's good." He thought it's better to do this than to die together. He charged towards the incoming zombies, apologizing for picking on her all this time, followed by a bone-shattering sound. This marks the conclusion of the 8th part of this manhwa. The 9th part will be uploaded after there were at least 3 to 4 chapters of this manhwa released, so remember to like and subscribe to the channel for future update. Leave comments to share your experience. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.